that's the confusing part here, because you're saying that the soul is a part of me. Without the soul, I can't exist. Right?
You
so
are your soul.
You are. Thank you. So if you are your soul, and then Jesus is his soul, and you're saying that's God. So for God to be now saying my God makes you know that doesn't make sense.
No. But you misunderstood me.
Okay.
Christ has both a human soul and a human body, and his divine nature.
Oh,
man is
so
both
Christ
body and soul.
is three things now.
No, well, this is classic Christianity.
This is excellent.
If you're just learning this,
I'm just learning it from you, because you're such a good explainer.
This is classic Chalcedonian. You've
Excellent.
heard of Chalcedon, right?
I have.
Chalcedon was a Christian creed, 451. The classic Chalcedonian statement is just like man is body and soul, God and man is one Christ.
Okay, so, let me just ask that. Let me just ask, because I want to understand that.
Okay.
Let me just okay. So Christ, according to you, he was human. He had a soul.
Real body and soul. Human.
And he was God. That's three things in Christ.
So he has all the attributes of humanity, body and soul, and he has a divine nature.
So that's what I just said, right?
So human nature and divine nature.
So he has a soul.
Absolutely.
When was his soul created?
So again, the soul of Christ,
Anthony.
It's human.
Okay, right? So when was his human soul created?
Christ became man when he became incarnate.
So the soul, it's a very simple question. It's okay. Nobody else got in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
When was his soul created? The soul of Christ.
I'm saying that the humanity of Christ, body and soul,
yes,
starts at the point of conception, the virgin birth.
Okay. Can you give me any reference in the Bible about when the soul of Jesus was created, as you just gave that answer, but about the soul?
So the Bible teaches that man's soul is formed along with his body. It's formed within him.
Okay,
so Psalm 139, among others, talks about the fact that God knits people together in their mother's womb. This is, from the Christian perspective, the time when man himself comes into existence.
So Jesus came into existence as a man.
It's human.
Okay.
Yeah, it's human nature.
So Jesus' soul.
Zechariah 12:10 also makes, or 12:1.
Those are not about Jesus, right? Those are general.
Those are about
human beings.
You asked about souls and bodies.
I asked you about Jesus' soul particularly.
So, just like you reasoned earlier, from the general to the particular,
I'm with you.
all I'm saying is...
So you're saying the general rules about humanity are why you're taking the fact in your mind that Jesus' soul came in. So Jesus had no soul until he was in the womb of Mary.
He had no human soul until he was in the womb of Mary.
And when he came in the womb of Mary, his soul came into creation.
So yeah, his body and soul originate at that time.
And his body. And when he died, according to you on the cross, where did his soul go?
His body died, his soul remained united to his divine nature, and he ascended into heaven.
So before that time, there was no soul, but there was Jesus. Before Jesus was born.
Yeah.
He had no soul.
Right.
So then God increased the soul of Jesus later.
No.
That's what you just said.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, let me repeat it again.
That's not at all what I said.
Let me say what I said, and you can correct me. Anthony, we got this. Okay.
So you got the laugh track over here. It wasn't even what I said.
People laugh. It's okay. So
but it wasn't good.
Now, when you said that Jesus had no soul before his human conception, right? So there was Jesus, part of God. There was God himself, and then the Holy Ghost. We're not even going to go there. Okay. Then Jesus came to the womb of Mary, and a soul was created. They didn't exist before. Then you're saying no? You're saying no? Or?
He's not saying anything.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were shaking your head. Okay, so then Jesus was born with a human soul and a human body and a godly nature, three components. Then he goes on a cross and he dies, and his body dies. His soul now, that was newly created, now becomes a part of God. No? That's exactly what you said. Well, okay, tell me what you said then. Tell me what you said then.
And just like you said to me earlier, not putting words in your mouth.
I'm not.
Now you accept from me, I didn't say anything like that. Right?
I got it. You guys got it on video, but go ahead.
We got it on video.
Good. Tell me again.
What I told you, you said his soul increased, and I never said anything along those lines either. What I said is very clear, and this is just classic Christian theology. Right? Chalcedon is just solidifying what was always taught by Christians. At Chalcedon, it says that Christ took on a true human nature. Human nature is a body-soul entity. Right? Man is an ensouled being, an embodied soul. Okay? So when Christ takes on a human nature, he takes into union with himself a full human nature, body and soul. When the body dies, the soul doesn't cease to exist. And so when Christ died physically, his soul didn't cease to exist. Neither did it separate the union that had already been established at the incarnation between Christ as a divine person and that human soul. They're still fundamentally united. The soul doesn't become a part of the Godhead, but it still remains a human soul.
Okay.
It never becomes a part of the divine nature.
So you have it on video, and so do we.
Yeah.
But I'm going to repeat this again. Okay. So there was no soul before Jesus was in the womb of Mary, right?
Right.
Okay. So Jesus came in the womb. God created a new soul.
Yeah.
For Jesus.
Yeah. We don't.
Became a part of
maybe
Jesus.
we have a different conception of what the soul is.
It's okay. Let's just keep going. Soul, body,
Soul
connected.
and body.
Okay. He came out on earth. You're with me, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. He goes to the cross. He gets killed, according to you.
Yep.
Now his soul and body separates. His soul that was not a part of the God union before, was not a part of Jesus before, where does that soul go?
It remains his soul.
And where does he go?
He goes back to the Father.
So the Father now has an increased soul. You said it, and you said it again, and now you're denying it.
Wait a minute.
All right, Anthony. Thank you.
Wait a minute. When you say you believe that Allah raised Jesus to himself, you believe that eventually someday you guys are all going to go, somebody's going to Jannah, right? Somebody's going to heaven.
Every Muslim, Allah make us.
Are you going to say they're added to Allah, like they're some part of his nature?
We do not believe.
Because I don't believe that either.
Let me respond. We do not believe we in Jannah are a part of Allah.
And neither do I.
But you said no. But you said Jesus is a part of God.
No.
We're talking about Jesus' soul.
I said.
You got God, bro. It's over. It's over. Thank you.
You've been asserting
It's
and
over,
begging the
man.
question the whole
Look,
time.
it's over. It's over. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you can get Sam.
Thank you.
We'll bring Sam in here in just a second. But we need to be clear here. I never said that Christ's soul becomes part of the deity. That was your claim. That was your claim. You're laughing,
I'm glad this is recorded.
Right? Oh, I'm so glad because I'm going to show.
Okay, so where does that soul go?
Simple English,
Where does the soul go?
theology. What does it have to do with where does the soul go?
Jesus' soul, where does it go?
Do you think if somebody's soul goes to heaven, it becomes part of God?
No.
Well, neither do I.
But you said Jesus' soul connected with him. It doesn't separate and goes back to being a part of God.
But listen.
Come on, you guys got to see this. Come
Back to
on.
being part of God. You said that. And then you had your laugh track, and then you turned and handed to the camera.
Where does the
What
soul?
I
Where
told
does Jesus' soul go?
Okay, now let's be clear. Your assumption is if his soul goes up to heaven, then somehow it becomes
Where
part
does
of the deity.
Jesus' soul go?
Jesus' soul remains forever united to his divine nature.
Okay, and where does his divine nature? Is he back being a part of God?
What do you mean back to being part of God? He never ceased being part of God.
But he was human here, right?
As to his divine nature, he's always God.
Okay.
He never ceases to be God.
So then when he got a
When he
soul
takes
attached
on
to
himself
him,
a human nature, which includes
Yes.
a human soul,
right?
at his death he doesn't cease.
Okay, so that soul is now a part of the divine nature of
No,
Jesus, a part of.
it's-
Oh yeah, Allah.
That soul remains united in his person.
Yes.
It's his soul,
So
but
God-
it's not his divine nature.
So it's a part of him.
That's your disjunct.
Is it a part of God or not?
It is his. He has a
can't
divine
answer.
nature and a human nature.
Is that soul, because his human body is dead, so his human soul, is it a part of God or not?
It is not a part of his divine nature.
It's
That's
not a
what I'm
part of
telling
God or not?
you. It's not part of his divine nature.
So Jesus' soul is not a part of God.
It's not part of his divine nature. Do you
It's a very
understand
simple question.
It's a very simple answer.
Is it a part of God or yes or no?
It's a very simple answer. His soul is his human nature, not his divine nature. Jesus, that person, has two natures, divine and human. You keep wanting to conflate the two.
So-
Christian theology has always said that's not true. And
So
you're
when-
just learning for
when
the first
Jesus
time,
died-
after doing Da'if for
not the
so
first time.
long,
It's not the
for the
first time.
first time, you're just
Listen,
now learning that's
listen.
not Christian theology.
Anthony.
We got it on film.
Anthony,
You said it.
Anthony.
You
This
said
is
it.
the first time, as I said, that the way you're explaining it, right? Because other Christians explain it differently. But let
Well,
me
I'm telling you
let me
Orthodox
tell you.
Chalcedonian
Okay, let me
Christology.
tell you this. The question you're not answering: that soul that got created, is that a part of God? Yes or no?
Not in the sense you're asking.
Okay, thank you. So
Right?
the soul of Jesus is not a part of God.
In the
Got
sense
it.
that you're asking,
Thank
you're
you.
assuming it's part of his divine nature.
Okay,
I'm
so
telling
you're saying Jesus' soul, his human body's dead, but his soul is not a part of God. Thank you. I got it.
Absolutely.
Okay, even after he died.
That's just classic Christianity.
Even after he died.
Welcome to Christianity
Okay.
101.
So Jesus' soul is in heaven?
Yes.
So Jesus will be God and his soul will be in heaven.
Why are you doing this?
Because
This is
God,
YMCA?
I mean, you hope you will be in heaven, right?
Yeah, and I'm not
But
going
you're
to
not
ever be God.
But your
On
soul
your
is
assumption,
separate,
if his
right?
soul's in heaven, then it's part of God.
No, I didn't. I
you
never
did.
said that.
That's the
I
assumption.
never said
That's
that.
the assumption
I
of
did
your
not
argument.
make that assumption.
That is your assumption.
This is a flat
That is your
mistruth.
assumption.
I'll say it, right?
And if that's
That
not
is
your
not.
assumption, then
My,
your
let me
argument doesn't follow.
let me explain it to you again. Okay, let me explain my assumptions. Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain what I. You said Jesus did not have a soul before the
Prior to
womb
the
of Mary.
incarnation.
Let me speak now, right? Jesus comes to the womb of Mary. God creates a body for Jesus and a soul for Jesus. Now Jesus is a body, a soul, and a divine nature, according to you. Then he lives in life, and he lives with those three components. Now at the cross, according to you, his body dies, right? And his soul and his divine nature go back to being a part of God. So now,
Notice the conjunction, soul and divine nature.
that's
Go
what
ahead.
I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Notice
Go
the
back to
conjunction.
being a part of God.
No, I didn't say that. That's where you keep
Okay.
making the false
So,
turn.
so where does the soul go?
You're confusing location with ontology.
Okay.
You seem to think that Christ's location means some fundamental
So-
change in his ontology.
Christ on
That's
earth.
just a complete category
Christ
mistake.
on earth
That's
was God walking
incredibly
around,
irrational.
right?
This whole time in this argument, you've been saying that you object to the incarnation because it's irrational, and now you're being as
It is.
irrational as possible.
I'm not.
You keep making a false turn that rests on the false assumption that if Jesus goes to the Father, then something about his ontology changes. That's just utterly fallacious.
Okay,
That's just utterly fallacious.
When
Even if
Jesus
you
was
show your
walking
teeth.
around on
Even
earth,
if you show your teeth,
when
he's
Jesus was
not.
walking around,
Uh-huh.
was he God himself?
He was both God and man.
Okay, so as God, he was walking on earth
Absolutely.
in a human form
With a human body, absolutely.
and a human soul,
And a human soul.
and that changed
What changed?
when he died on the cross.
His body died and went to the
Excellent.
dust. His soul remained his soul, but
Okay.
never his divine nature. It's
so-
still not his part of his
So
divine
his
nature.
soul then,
Never becomes part of his
okay,
divine nature.
so his soul will never be part of God.
It'll never be a part of his divine nature. Christ is
Okay,
one
all right,
person.
I got you.
Yeah, he's-
Thank you,
He's
I get
a
it.
divine
Okay.
person. He has
I,
two natures.
I understand your answer.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't agree with it.
Well, okay, well, I don't
But
expect
that's-
you to agree
that's
at this
my-
point.
okay,
But I'm
sure.
saying you understand what it is now. though.
David, do you have the same?
You understand.
Do you agree that the soul of Christ is not a part of God?
it's not a part of his divine nature?
You believe that? David would.
That's basic Christianity. I mean,
Oh, I mean, many Christians here, preachers and pastors, have said the soul of Christ is a part of God, right?
Well-
but you're saying it's not. Okay, understand.
see, I don't know how
You're
they
saying
read
the
it.
soul of Christ was created, and when Christ died, his soul does not become God.
absolutely not.
Okay, his soul is in heaven.
So let me just say this then. I can't speak for other Christians,
Okay.
right? In this sense, the people you
Got
talk
it.
to, right? I'm not going to say you're misrepresenting them. There are
You can talk to them.
possibilities, right? No. But I'm saying they might be speaking less than precisely,
Okay.
or you might be misunderstanding them.
Okay.
I can tell you this, even with all the laugh tracks going on, I can tell you this: historic, classic Christianity, in terms of its official formal creeds and confessions, teaches exactly what I just told you.
Okay.
Right? The Chalcedonian Creed, which is historic Christianity in its affirmation of the natures of Christ, has always affirmed that Christ had a fully human nature,
Okay.
and those two natures forever are distinct. His human nature could never be his
Interesting.
divine nature.
So,
Never.
so the soul of Christ is not a part of God.
It's not a part of his divine essence, his
Okay.
nature, right? And this goes back to a fundamental distinction of Christianity that I think we agree on. And you would hold it as a Muslim, not as I'm not saying you hold this, the creator-creature distinction. There's an absolute distinction
Yes.
between the two.
Yes.
And so as Christians, as Christians, we affirm that distinction, and we don't believe the incarnation ever blurs that distinction.
But we believe Jesus was a creation. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Well, you believe he only was a human being.
He was a creation.
Yeah, and
But
we
you believe he was a creation and the creator.
We believe that he was the
That's not-
creator who took upon himself a human nature.
So again, that means you mixed the two.
which never become mixed. Again, if you read the Chalcedonian Creed, it says without admixture, without intermixing. So classic Christianity has always said those two natures remain distinct. They're both natures of the divine word. They belong to the word, but they never become the other. His divine nature forever remains divine. His human nature forever remains human.
But his human nature started at the womb of Mary.
Yes, because it's human.
Right? And his body died, and his soul will live, but never be a part of God.
It'll always be united in his one person. It'll never be his divine nature.
In the one person with the Father?
Yeah.
So soul then is now united with the Father.
The Son is always one with the Father.
Okay.
There's no change to the divine nature.
There is, because you just added a soul to it.
No.
It's united with it, right?
You don't even
Is the soul united with Jesus forever or not?
It's hypostatically. It's not ontologically.
Wow.
They don't become fused. I think you're thinking in terms of.
That's what it sounds
there's
like,
some
right?
tangible substance called deity.
No.
There's this other tangible stuff, and they get glued or something.
Let me just explain.
That's not what
Okay,
I'm
so this is when your idea of God, right? There are three components, right?
What do you mean by what components are you referring to here?
Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
I wasn't sure if you were still talking about Christ, divine nature, human nature.
Well, that is Christ. It's one of the three, right?
Yeah, up here, yeah. But
up here. Okay, I got you.
Components you're talking about here.
I get you. I know what you. I like to be clear. So what I'm talking about is God, in your understanding, has three distinct components that come together as one. The Father, no. Okay.
That would be like us saying you believe that Allah has these components, his face and his shin and so on, that comes together as Allah.
It wouldn't, because it wouldn't. Let me explain why not.
No,
because Allah's yad, for example, doesn't detach and come walk around on earth.
But we don't think
right?
Christ detached.
Okay, but you do say that God took on human form.
Yeah. Human nature.
Okay, so
we also believe that God is everywhere, so there's no detachment.
It's not like when I say took on, that's metaphorical. I don't mean.
If God is everywhere, then what's the difference between you and Jesus? You're both God then.
No.
God is everywhere, so God's in you, right?
See, why do basic terms break down like that with you?
Because you don't
God
make
is
sense.
Everywhere to saying God is everything. Those are two different terms.
So that's the thing. Jesus was God, you're saying, not present at Jesus. So that's why you're trying to confuse the issue, because there's a distinction. You're saying...
I'm making the distinction. You're not.
I am. Let me explain it. So when you say God is everywhere, you don't mean he's everywhere in the sense that Jesus was here. Right?
In the sense that Jesus as incarnate?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So there is that's your breakdown. Okay, so let's take it back to that. So when Jesus was walking around, it is different from God just being everywhere according to you.
Because there's a hypostatic. You know what the term hypostatic
means? Yes, yeah.
Okay.
When you add,
there's a hypostatic union. Hypostatic pertains to the person.
So that means
the person of the Son is not a physical, tangible thing. He can be present without taking up any space. Right? We're not saying he occupies space.
But right now, this here, us walking around, according to you, God is everywhere in a sense.
Everything.
Excellent, got you. But when Jesus is walking around, now this is different than just saying God is everywhere, because you're saying,
absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so when Jesus came to earth, not that he was already everywhere, like that, you can't just go on a loop.
He is always everywhere.
But there's a difference, right, of Jesus coming physically, right?
Yeah, he's incarnate in the womb.
Yes or no?
That flesh doesn't come from heaven.
Thank you. But that connection is from heaven.
Starts in the womb.
Excellent. So now, when Jesus, according to you, was walking around, he was God walking around, right?
God
in the human form.
And man. He is both God and man.
Got it.
Around. Yes.
Got it. So that is different.
That person.
Excellent. So that is different than right now when you could say God is everywhere, but he's not walking around as a person, right?
Yeah, but the fact that he's everywhere makes that sort of thing possible.
Okay.
Right.
But again, like you said, it is not the same as him just being everywhere regularly, right?
Of course not.
Okay, thank you. So when God
destroy the uniqueness of the incarnation.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. When I was saying that, you were like, well, he's everywhere anyway.
No.
Like, well, then that doesn't make sense. So let's go back to that. He's in the womb, and now a soul is created that was not there before. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to figure out why we're back here again.
Because you went in a loop, that's why.
No, you went on a loop.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay, that soul gets connected now to God, the Jesus. right?
Jesus is
now,
a divine person with a divine nature.
Now has a soul connected to him.
Now this human nature is brought into union with his divine
Thank you.
through his one person.
Thank you.
It becomes the nature of that person.
Now the body will die,
yeah.
but now that soul will remain fused, right? That's what you're saying?
Fused, though. But well, I'm saying it's still his nature.
Okay.
It's still his. That soul is his soul.
Okay. But it's
fused,
not a part of God.
It's not a part of his divine nature.
Gotcha.
They're always
But
distinct.
something new got connected to God, right?
But what do you mean by connected? You're acting like these are Legos.
What do you mean? No. You're telling me they're like Legos, right?
No, I'm
God
telling you
came
they're
in and you
not.
plugged the human body and you plugged the
telling you
soul,
they're not.
and then the human body
that's-
falls off and the soul
And
connects,
that's
right?
why,
That's
why
what you're
shooting
saying.
randomly and hitting air.
All right. Well, it's nice talking to you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you. David, I wish we.
Now you want Sam?
I want Sam. Look, let me explain this, right?
I don't mean like.
No, I don't want
You
Sam,
mean
but yeah,
this?
it's like listen
No,
to
I
me,
mean
listen to
like-
me. You guys are welcome anytime. We're not here to debate. We're here to give dawah. If somebody
Didn't you
wants,
invite Christian Prince to debate? You
sure.
said you're willing
Let
to
me.
debate everyone?
Can I? Let me finish. Let me finish, and you'll get the answer. You're doing the Anthony thing now, right, David? You were doing so good so far, right?
Yes.
So
Wait a minute.
No, I just-
you were.
I
Yeah.
gotta do the
I
David
thought you were
thing now.
inviting people to debate, so if
Let
you're saying you weren't doing
let me,
that, then I
let me
just
explain
wanted to be
it,
clear.
and I've said it many times, right?
Come on,
Which,
let him talk.
thank you, David. Anthony, man,
I gotta
you
rap.
get the first dub this time. All right. I still won't leave you hanging. All
even now.
right.
We
So
gotta even now.
we are du'at. We are giving dawah.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody wants to debate, they're more than welcome to come. Do you understand the difference now? Okay. So Christian princess, a prince, whatever. I'm sorry.
You got that in for the camera.
I've said that many a time.
I know.
I have to say, Mr. Prince, if you're afraid to show your face, I can get you a little niqab. What do you think about that idea? He could put like a little scarf on, and that way he won't show his face, and he can come in person like you guys.
So for the record, I have no idea why he doesn't want to be seen.
Princess, Prince.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know why you don't want to show your face.
No. Christian
You
Prince.
guys heard that? Christian Prince.
Prince.
Anthony saying, why aren't you showing your
Christian
face?
Prince is. Anthony is saying. I don't know Christian Prince.
I don't know him either.
I have no idea why he doesn't want to be.
Me neither.
But that doesn't mean he's afraid.
Well, I mean, there's some reason, right? And neither one of us know.
be
So
like-
I'm
so-
offering.
So since neither
Could
one
be
of
his
us
job.
know,
You have a job, I'm sure,
Since
right?
neither one of us
What do you
know,
do?
just like you said earlier, you're not going to assert something.
You're a YouTuber. That's your job.
My main job.
Wait, that's your main job. You do this for money? Wow. What about you? What do you do?
I do a number of things. I am a pastor. I told you that at the start.
Cool.
I serve in prisons. That's
Oh,
most-
nice.
I'm the regional
I used to do the
director
same thing,
in
man.
South
Nice.
Carolina for prisons.
Wow.
I was converted at 18 in prison.
Oh, wow.
So I've always had a love for prisoners. Want to go in prisons. And I also,
Careful how you say that, but all right.
and then I also have a night job where I
Cool.
do a lot of online.
So Christian
not-
Christian Prince, we are together making an offer that if you would like to have a conversation like this and you don't want to show your face, I'm offering to bring you a niqab so you can cover your face, and we had a respectful nobody got hurt, nobody got beat up, nobody got fired, right? So we're making that offer to you. Nobody got fired. I mean, I work a regular job. I might
yet,
get fired,
not
right?
yet.
Not yet. Maybe I will. I'll take it for God. No problem. I'm not afraid.
With that said, assuming he has some, reason like, maybe his job doesn't want him out there showing himself or something like that, why wouldn't it be acceptable then to debate him online or something like that?
Excellent. So the thing that happens online that we see is that somebody has a mute button, right? And what happens is, as we've, and again, I don't watch his channel, but what brothers have sent me clips and things, he just mutes them and talks over them. And that doesn't really benefit. Like, you see how we had a respectful conversation? We tried to keep it in person. And look, he doesn't have to fly here. If he wants to come somewhere, he can give me his address, no problem. I'll fly there. I'm not afraid of you coming here. He shouldn't be afraid of coming here either, right?
So let me say this on
what I'm saying is, I prefer this kind of a conversation where we can have a conversation, not just mute each other and yell over each other, and somebody controls a button and somebody throws references without being here, right? So this is why.
I like that. Let me say
Good.
this. Let
I'm
me
glad
say
you
this.
like it.
I think there are channels on both sides that do some of that.
Sure.
People can.
I
enter
don't
into some things.
I don't do
But I think there
Skype.
are-
I don't do Zoom. I don't do those
There are
things, right?
channels where both sides have been respectable in
Sure.
the course of things.
Christian Prince has not,
Well,
and you know that.
No, I don't
Come
know
on.
anything.
Okay,
no,
we'll
no,
go-
no, no.
watch the show and then
no,
you'll
listen
figure it
to me.
out.
Listen to me. I haven't watched. I'm not. Like
You don't watch the show?
I'm not like a big. I don't watch all sorts of things.
Have you watched the show or not?
No, I mean I've seen.
Oh.
Like you, I can honestly say before God, I've probably seen about as much as you have, right?
And you haven't seen much.
And I
You're not a big fan of Christian Prince, I guess. Then.
I'm not saying anything either way. I just
Gotcha.
I don't know who the ruler is of Zamunda.
Then you wouldn't be a big fan of the rule of Zamunda, right?
I know.
King Jafar.
I'm just saying I don't know.
So what I will
just don't
say,
get around
I
much.
appreciate the civil conversation, right? And again, we are du'at, we are giving da'wah towards the oneness of Allah. We believe Allah is one. He doesn't become two, he doesn't become three. His sifat, his self. Let me finish, bro. Come on, Anthony, we're doing so good. David, where are you at?
Good. This is our closing.
All right, our closing. So let me close.
Okay, you close.
I'll let you go first. You're the guest. Go ahead.
Yeah. Why don't you guys take 2 minutes each or something like
Excellent.
that?
Go ahead.
To close out. Does that work?
Oh, sure.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Anthony. I'll let you speak.
I'll say this. I think we've gotten our major points out there.
Excellent.
Yeah. We've gotten some perspective. I think we've had a pleasurable dialogue. I've enjoyed you. I've expressed some of the things that I like. I love the fact that Muslims are willing to engage. I hope that never changes, unless, of course, they become Christian. That's the ultimate goal from our perspective, just like yours is for us to become Muslim. I think that if we honestly go back and look through this, there's been a good bit of breakdown in terms of, but also clarification. But I think there's been breakdown in some of the understanding. Hopefully some clarification along the way on both sides.
Good.
And I do think that we've, for the most part, established that we, from our perspectives, have an aversion to the other perspective, but there hasn't so much been an argument presenting that case against or for or what have you. So, I'm not trying to make any new arguments here. I'm just summing up from my perspective. I think this was pleasurable.
Productive.
I think it was productive. As a human being, I've enjoyed you. Obviously we're on different sides of the, God.
At least we both believe in God.
Yeah, that's true. And neither one of us are minimizing the serious nature of our differences, right?
Nope.
When I say I appreciate all these things, I'm not saying, okay, you're okay. You're not saying I'm okay, right?
I think you're okay.
But in the sense of, ultimately, both of us think the others are seriously off and have a reckoning to give.
We were going so well.
Yeah,
Just
but
kidding.
you
Go
know
ahead,
that's
David.
true. Come
I'll
on.
say it too. Don't worry.
You know it's
Go ahead,
true.
David.
Oh, sort of final thoughts here?
Yeah.
I'll just give you my basic view. Muslims generally go right to Christian theology, and this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. Whereas Islam is this, easy to understand oneness and so on. My view is that when you really get into Islamic theology, you're talking about the attributes of Allah and the Quran and the nature of the Quran and the eternality of the Quran and the spirit of Allah and all these things. It seems more confusing than people are generally letting on. And my general view is just because something is confusing doesn't mean you dismiss it. Just because if you study quantum mechanics, no one gets it. They just understand that's how things work. So for me, it comes down to something we didn't actually get to here. What's true? What has God revealed? And what has He shown that He has revealed to us? And because if God said to me that Islam is true, and I would say, okay, I don't get all this stuff, but He's God and I'm not.
Okay.
But similarly, if God reveals that Christianity is true, then just to me it just wouldn't matter if there were some aspect of Christian theology and I said, I really don't get that, or it doesn't make sense or something like that.
Gotcha.
So, but I do think it's cool when we can have conversations like this. And Anthony, Sam, we're all similar in that we're willing to escalate under certain circumstances and so on.
Gotcha.
But I think it's better if we have nice conversations like this.
Good.
That's my view.
So
It's getting late.
no, wait. I gotta finish my thing. Sorry. Wait, man.
You're just gonna give a quick final thought.
2 minutes, yeah. All right. So
You think of a topic. What topic? I don't know.
all right. So first thing I would say, I want to appreciate you guys coming out. I want to appreciate your behavior. And I want to say that in the world that we live in, with atheism on the rise and all those kinds of things, I think Muslims, Christians, Jews have a lot in common, right? We do believe in God, at least. We do believe there's a creator, right? And that's something to focus on. I don't think this is really like a butting heads war type of a situation that some people want to make it, right? I don't think we should be insulting. I think we should be having a good conversation as we've had. I believe that there is one creator. That one creator is indivisible. He doesn't become two, he doesn't become three, he doesn't become four. He has one Zat. Zat of Allah is one. Sifat don't make it different. It is part of the same Zat of Allah. I believe that one creator, he sent Moses and Abraham and Muhammad and Jesus and all of these prophets as prophets. All of them had different miracles. Some were born without a father or mother. Some were born from the rib. Some were born without a father. Some split the ocean. Some split the moon. These are miracles sent to these prophets. And they all brought the same message. The message didn't switch up that, okay, right now you need to do good deeds and then later on just believe and somebody else will die for your sins. To me, that's not from the nature of God to be unjust to a bunch of people by making them accountable for their deeds, and then unjust to another people by then just believing in something and no matter deeds they go to heaven. To me, that's not my belief. My belief is that there is one Allah, one creator. He revealed the Quran. He is the one that sent the prophets, and those prophets preached the same message. Believe in one creator, don't worship idols, no statues, no symbols of statues, all those kinds of things, and follow the prophet of your time. I believe this is the time of the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I invite all of you to believe in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and follow that guidance, and this is what I believe leads to heaven. Again, appreciate the time, appreciate the conversation, and you can bring Sam if you like.
Sam, we gotta break our fast. Come on.
Let me stop this real quick just to start it up again. See how the files not too long.
Sam!
Sir! Come on!
Got 4 minutes.
Take a seat if we want.
No, I'm good. Yeah, we have to. Not an option. So, 10 minutes, lock it up. Sam.
I was waiting for these guys to.
All right, how you doing? You mind it? Should I call you Hassan? Oh, give me a hug.
No, people think I get offended when they call me Hassan. I don't.
What do you want me to call you? I don't want to call you anything
Whatever,
offensive.
Hassan,
What do you like? Sam, pick.
take what? I don't know what.
Pick a name that you like.
Hassan.
Hassan. How are you, Hassan? Where are you from?
I like this one, Jaman Baru.
You like it? Good.
Ashuri Chaldean.
Okay, you're Chaldean.
Ashuri Chaldean.
Ashuri
Don't
Chaldean.
speak Arabic.
Okay.
But I'm
Speak
from
Chaldean?
born in Kuwait. Yes, I speak
Nice.
it. Born in Kuwait.
You got a big community in San Diego.
Yes, you do. My cousins are there too.
Nice.
So don't tell them you might. Just kidding. 1974 came to Chicago, so I didn't learn Arabic. I learned Assyrian.
Gotcha.
Just want to be clear because some people think I speak Arabic.
I speak Arabic.
Yeah, I know you learn. But I keep telling them I don't speak Native. I'm lying.
I believe you. You don't speak
I
Arabic.
don't speak Arabic.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know what you guys were talking about. That's
We had a big conversation. We got like a few minutes before we have to go break our fast.
God willing,
Yes.
I've come back. We'll have
Anytime.
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
I'm in Arizona,
Sam.
but I come up here like
Assume.
once a month.
Tell you what.
Yes.
I'm inviting you in front of everybody here to break fast with me. Come to my house, eat food with me, drink tea. I have a library. We can sit down.
Because
So,
he's my right.
What time?
We go to Arizona. I'm in Arizona.
What time are you leaving?
There's no specific time we need to leave, so if you want us to come over, we'll come over.
Whatever.
How late would it be?
Probably on 7 o'clock. We'll start dinner.
Whatever you want.
Then
to do.
we'll.
He's
we'll
my
be-
right.
Sounds
But
good, sounds
I
good.
come up once a month. I promise you. Now that we understand each other, I will come up.
Okay. Let me give you my number.
Yes, and you take
And if
mine.
you want, then today, if you guys are heading out,
that's
because it's gonna get. If we sit, we're gonna sit at least till 10 p.m. midnight. So you guys better be ready. All right.
224?
No. Let's turn the cameras out. And I don't want people. I don't want people. Me or you getting messages. Here. There you go. Just type it in. All right.
Here, lock it in.
All right.
Send it to him. And yes, and say he's my right. But I will be
Okay.
coming more often. I'll see you guys.
All right. Cool.
Because I come up here once a month. I see people. in
Once a
San
month.
Diego, I have
Man, you've been
cousins,
coming
and
this often. Never came and said hello,
I
man.
met you the wrong way.
Oh, we gotta meet you the right way.
That's why I come in.
Give me a hug. All right.
We'll talk more.
We will.
Now, you guys do have time for a quick conversation, so what's a good
He said a few minutes he wants to break.
Yeah, I have to leave. So we leave at 5. So
So go ahead. It's okay. We'll come.
come back.
He'll
All
call,
right.
he'll call me if you want to go to his house. You're the
صلى عليه الله ما هب الصبا وعلى جميع الآل والأصحاب